Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Pradeep Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. Whenever you are ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Today we are reading 10th canto, 37th chapter, the killing of demons Keshi and Vyoma, from text 15 to 33. Text 15. In just 2 days, O Almighty Lord, I will see the deaths of Chanura, Mushtika, and other wrestlers, along with those of the elephant Kuvalaya Pida and the king Kamsa, all by your hand. Then I will see you kill Kalayavana, Mura, Naraka, and the conch demon, and I will also see you steal the Parijata flower and defeat Indra. I will then see you marry many daughters of heroic kings after paying for them with your valor. Then, O Lord of the universe, in Dwaraka you will deliver King Raga from a curse and take for yourself the Shamantakamani jewel together with another wife. You will bring back Brahmana's dead son from the abode of your servant Yamraj, and there and thereafter you will kill Paundraka, burn down the city of Kashi, and slay Dantavatkra, and you will also put an end to the king of Chedi during the great Rajasuya Yagna sacrifice. I shall see all these heroic pastimes along with many others you will perform during your residence in Dwaraka. These pastimes are glorified on this earth in the songs of transcendental poets. Subtext 21. Subsequently, I will see you appear as time personified, serving as Arjuna's chariot driver and destroying entire armies of soldiers to rid the earth of her burden. Text 22. Let us approach you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for shelter. You are full of perfectly pure spiritual awareness and are always situated in your original identity. Since your will is never thwarted, you are already achieved you have already achieved all possible desirable things, and by the power of your spiritual energy you remain eternally aloof from the flow of the qualities of illusion. Text 23. I bow down to you, the supreme controller, who are dependent only on yourself. By your potency, you have constructed the unlimited particular arrangements of this universe. Now you have appeared as the great hero among Yadus, Vrishnis, and Sattvatas, and have chosen to participate in human warfare. Text 24. Shukadev Goswami said, having thus addressed Lord Krishna, the chief of Yadu dynasty, Narada bowed down and offered him obeisances. Then that great sage and most eminent devotee took his leave from the Lord and went away, feeling great joy at having directly seen him. Text 25. After killing the demon Keshi in battle, the Supreme Personality of Godhead continued to tend the cows and other animals in the company of his joyful cowherd boyfriends. Thus, he brought happiness to all the residents of Vrindavana. Text 26. One day, the cowherd boys, while grazing their animals on the mountain slopes, played the game of stealing and hiding, acting out the roles of rival thieves and herders. Text 27. In that game, O king, some acted as thieves, others as shepherds, and others as sheep. They played their game happily without fear of danger. Text 28. A powerful magician named Vyoma the son of demon Maya, then appeared on the scene in the guise of a cowherd boy. Pretending to join as a thief, he proceeded to steal most of the cowherd boys who were acting as sheep. Text 29. Gradually, the great demon abducted more and more of the cowherd boys and cast them into a mountain cave, which he sealed shut with a boulder. Finally, only 4 or 5 boys acting as sheep remained in the game. Text 30. Lord Krishna, who shelters all saintly devotees, understood perfectly well that Vyomasura was doing. Just as a lion grabs a wolf, Krishna forcefully seized the demon as he was taking away more cowherd boys. Text 31. The demon changed into original form as a big, powerful, great mountain. But try as he might to free himself, he could not do so, having lost his strength from being held in the Lord's tight grip. Text 32. Lord Achyuta clutched Vyomasura between his arms and threw him to the ground. Then, while the demons in the heaven looked on, Krishna killed him in the same way that one kills a sacrificial animal. Text 33. Krishna then smashed the boulder blocking the cave's entrance and led the trapped cowherd boys to safety. Thereafter, as the demigods and cowherds boys sang his glories, he returned to his cowherd village Gokula. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So, welcome all the devotees. Let's offer brief prayers. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chekshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So, we're in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, especially in the section of Bhagavatam where Krishna's childhood pastimes in none other than Vrindavan are being described for us. So, they were getting close to the end of the childhood pastimes in Vrindavan, which will complete on 40th chapter of this 10th canto. We're in the end of the 37th chapter today. And the 37th chapter, after this chapter is over, we'll hear about Akrura's arrival and Akrura taking Krishna to Madhura. So essentially this chapter is almost the last chapter where Sukadeva Goswami is describing Krishna's killing of the last of the demons. So yesterday we heard about Kesi demon, how Krishna killed. Now today we'll hear about Vyomasura demon killing also. So that is the last pastime we'll hear in Vrindavan where Krishna is killing the demons. Now, overall context wise, we heard how in the previous chapter, Narada Muni went to Kamsa and disclosed the truth about Krishna and Balram's identity and where they are, like that, to Kamsa. We heard how that is only to speed up the pastimes of Krishna. In fact, that is Narada Muni is doing it to help Vasudeva and Devaki to see Krishna soon so that they'll be delivered by him. Not like, even though externally Vasudeva and Devaki were put in prison by Kamsa. So that is one important thing to remember. So then after that we heard about yesterday's session. We heard about how Kesi demon was sent by Kamsa and then how Krishna wonderfully killed the Kesi demon even though his hand is tender and soft, uh, and but still, when he kept the hand in the mouth of the Kesi demon who came in the form of the horse, we heard how it was felt like very hot, like a hot iron rod, and the harsh demon Kesi left his life, we heard. And then we also heard how Narada Muni came to Krishna and they started glorifying Krishna with tattva, with philosophical explanations, how he is great, how is the creator, how is the maintainer, how is the destroyer. Like that, he was describing many aspects of Krishna, Narada Muni. So now that discussion where Narada Muni is speaking to Krishna is continuing today. So in the last verse yesterday, we heard about how Narada Muni glorifying Krishna uh, uh, of killing Casey demon who is in the form of horse like a sport, like easy as sport, enjoying a sport like that, enjoying games like that. That's how you glorified in the last verse. Today's verse, this 15th to 20th verse are combined together because Acharyas describe a common thread between these verses. And essentially, Narada Muni is describing a quick summary, quick glance, or a quick trailer of all the pastimes of Krishna coming up in Madura and Dwaraka later. Remember, Krishna's pastimes are spread over these three main locations: Vrindavan, then later Madura, and then later Dwaraka. So he's summarizing quickly few of those pastimes from in Madura and also in Dwaraka now in this set of verses. It's noted that after Narada Muni glorified Krishna like this, in just 2 days, uh, Akrura will come and will take Krishna to Madura. In Krishna book, Prabhupada is even more specific. He says, day after tomorrow, like that he says. Not just 2 days means next, not the third day like that. Day after tomorrow, Sri Prabhupada writes in the Krishna book. So, uh, Narada Muni is glorifying. In just 2 days, I'll give the essence first and we'll go to the details. Narada Muni is essentially showing, oh, I'm so eager to see your wonderful pastimes that you're going to perform starting in just 2 days. By killing this demon, that demon, you do this glorious activity, that glorious activity. I'm eager to see them like that. That's how Narada Muni is describing. Now, some other details we'll discuss. Obviously, he's saying that you'll first kill, uh, as we heard in the last chapter, where Kamsa was briefing Akrura. What is his plan like that? If you notice, Kamsa made elaborate plan. Not only sent Kesi demon, not only he sent Vyomasara demon, but he also made a plan, alternate backup plans to invite Krishna through Akrura and then kill him through either Kuvalayapida or the restless. So that's what Narada Muni is describing. You're going to kill restless like Chanura, Mustika, and other great restless also. And also you'll kill the elephant Kuvalayapida. And even King Kamsa himself you'll kill. And then you'll kill several other demons like Kalayavana with Mruchukunda, Mura, Narakasura, and then the conch demon is described here that we know as Panchajanya. Like that, you'll kill all of them, and you'll also perform pastimes like where you go to Indraloka and take the Parijata flower from Indraloka, and you marry many daughters of heroic kings by paying the dowry as your valor. Because in those days, Kshatriyas, when they need to marry someone, they need to show their valor by defeating all the other kings who are competing for that same girl that they want to marry, same lady they want to marry. So that's so Krishna showed his valor in each of the circumstances when he married any other wife as a Kshatriya, proper Kshatriya is meant to do. Prabhupada explains this cultural context for us in Krishna book because some may not be aware why are they saying why Sukadeva Goswami or rather Narada Muni are saying that you gave your valor as the dowry to marry queens like that. That's why our Srila Prabhupada is giving that background of cultural background in the Krishna book for us. And then he describes how in the Dwaraka you will deliver a king by name Riga from a curse. Uh, and basically, all these pastimes we'll hear more in details in the coming chapters. Very, very brief synopsis Narada Muni is giving here. So just we can touch on them. Basically, King Riga was a very pious king. He was used to giving charity to Brahmanas. One time he gave charity to Brahmana, some cows. And then after some more time, he gave charity of cows to another Brahmana. What happened was the cow he gave it to the first Brahmana, one of the cows he gave to the first Brahmana, came back to the king's herd again. So now, when king gave the second charity to the second Brahmana, then he gave the same cow he originally gave it to the first Brahmana also. So now somehow the first Brahmana and second Brahmana come to this conflict that, oh, this cow belongs to me, this cow belongs to me, like that. Finally, they were not happy, and king got this curse to become a lizard, and he was in a well. So that time, Krishna extends his arms and touches him, and then delivers King Riga, who was in the form of a lizard. So that pastime will see here more details also coming up. Then it touches on the pastime of Shamantaka, where Krishna gets the Chamantakajal along with your wife, he says. Who is the wife? We know is Jambavati. Jambavan's daughter, uh, Jambavati, was playing with the Shamantakajal because Jambavan gave it to her. So that whole pastime we'll hear in detail and coming up in few chapters. So he glorifies that you'll do that pastime also. And not only that, you are so completely independent. Jiva Goswami highlights this point, that why is he telling this pastime? He's telling that Krishna is completely independent. What pastime is referring to? Is referring to you'll bring back Brahmana's dead son from Yamaloka. Normally, when somebody goes to Yamaloka, they're not going to come back. There's no chance of escaping from there. So, but he describes that Krishna personally went there and got the Brahmana's dead son alive, like that. So that shows the Krishna's complete independence. Complete independence means even above Yamaraj, like that. That's what Jiva Goswami highlights in this portion. And then you'll kill demons like Paundraka, King of Chedi, King of Chedi and Shishpala, basically, during the Rajasuya sacrifice. And then Jiva Goswami describes how he's summing it up. This is Narada Muni wants to say to Krishna, "Oh Krishna, I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate. Also, how merciful you are," like that. That's how Narada Muni is expressing his emotion through this glorification of Krishna. Jiva Goswami describes. And then towards the end of this verse, we hear how Narada Muni is saying all these pastimes will be glorified on the earth in the songs of transcendental poets. Like we are here we are saying, Sukadeva Goswami is glorifying by through Srimad Bhagavatam, like that. And like that, we are describing these pastimes. Like that, many people coming, they all will glorify Krishna's pastimes going on, like that. So this is a summary of several pastimes. Yeah, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes another comment on this particular verses. He says, Narada saw all these pastimes happening in previous yugas when Krishna came. So he's recollecting those pastimes and sharing with Krishna again, like that, for our benefit, like that. So that's what is being described. So, because somebody may say this did not happen yet, how does Narada Muni know? Of course, we also know great personalities like Vyasadeva, for example, are Trikalagna. That means they know past, they can see the present, and they can also see the future, like that. Going to the next verse in text number 21. Now, after describing all these pastimes in Madura and Vrindavan, he switches the gear. He goes to the next section of pastimes. He says, after that, you'll see, you'll appear as time personified. That is Kala Rupa. This one is described by Jiva Goswami, Jiva Goswami, that is glorifying the Kala Rupa of Lord. That means as time factor. Lord is the time factor. So what do you do in that as a time factor? You participate in the Mahabharata war. But how do you participate in the Mahabharata war? You will serve Arjuna as chariot driver, and then you will destroy entire armies of the soldiers who are burdened for the earth, like that is described. Now, this is where both Jiva Goswami and Sanatan Goswami glorify this particular aspect from this verse, where Krishna is taking the subordinate position as Arjuna's chariot driver. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he loves to serve his devotees. He loves to take a subordinate position to his devotees, like that. That is the nature of humility and also nature of love between Krishna and his pure devotees. So specifically, uh, Sanatan Goswami describes this means you are controlled by the love of your devotees. That is why you're taking a subordinate position to them. We also will hear, we also hear regularly in Kartik about Damodar Lila, where Krishna is controlled by love of Mother Yashoda, who is his pure devotee, like that. So that's what is described by Sanatana Goswami also. You're controlled by love of devotees like Arjuna. That's why you're taking subordinate position. Then Sanatana Goswami also describes another angle to this verse. He describes um, how, remember, Narada Muni, before he came to meet Krishna, glorify Krishna, and the converse with Krishna like he's doing now, he was with King Kamsa. And what did he tell King Kamsa? He told the real truth about Krishna and Balaram, how their sons of Vasudeva and Devaki. And what happened because of that? Kamsa put them in prison again, Vasudeva and Devaki. So Nada has this uh, regret that because of me, I actually offended you by telling Kamsa and by making Kamsa imprison Vasudeva and Devaki, your parents. So please forgive me, like that. So like that, he's requesting in the coming verses basically. In the 23rd verse, we'll see the actual forgiveness. Now he's saying, why is bringing up Arjuna in the picture? Arjuna respects Vasudeva and Devaki so much. Arjuna worships them. So such a worshipful personality, Vasudeva and Devaki, I offended them. Like that, Narada Muni is indirectly describing here, as described by Srila Sanatana Goswami for us. Going to text number 22. So now he says, I want to approach you for shelter. So, but you're full of perfectly pure spiritual awareness. That means you already know everything. What can I communicate to you who knows everything already? Like that is describing with this glorification. And then you're always situated in your original identity. So it's not that you came here, so you're covered by Maya or you're covered by modes of material nature. You're always Supreme Lord only, no matter what. Whether you're 1 year old or 10 years old or 11-year old, you're always situated as in your original identity. Like that is coming. Swasamstaya is the word used here. So now, and whatever you desire and whatever you will can never be changed, never be thwarted, never be gone wrong. So you already achieved all these desirable things that you want by the power of your spiritual energy, it describes. And you remain eternally aloof from the flow of qualities of illusion. So this is directly contradicting what Mayavadis describe. Mayavadis think and describe that Krishna, when he comes to the material world, when he comes to the earth planet, then he's covered by Maya. He's like one of us. He's not Supreme Lord. Like that they think. So this is pure devotees like Narada Muni are clarifying for us how that is not the case. Because Supreme Lord is always Supreme Lord. He can never be covered by anything. Moreover, the Maya energy belongs to Krishna. So Krishna controls the Maya energy, not the other way around. that Maya will control Krishna like that. Of course, there are some pastimes we'll hear where the Yoga Maya aspect, the spiritual energy described here, that can put Krishna also forget his identity for the sake of Krishna's pleasure only in those pastimes. That is there. But not Mahamaya cannot influence Krishna like that. That is the text number 22. And text number 23, finally, Narada Muni is seeking forgiveness from Krishna. Forgiveness for what? Forgiveness that he offended his parents Vasudeva and Devaki by letting them go to prison because of his disclosing the truth to Kamsa. So they says, I bow down to you, supreme controller, who are dependent only on yourself. That means not dependent on anybody else. So you made all these arrangements in the universe. Now you appeared as great hero of the Yadus also. So, and you chosen to particularly play this human role like that. So like that, Nardmani finally uh, uh, asked for forgiveness from Krishna. And then next verse, 24th verse, Sukadeva Goswami is describing now. So Nardmani bowed down and offered him obeisances, offered Krishna obeisances. And then mm, he took leave from Krishna. Krishna, please let me go now. And while going, he was feeling great joy. Great joy, what? That he has directly seen Krishna like that. With that great joy, he left. In this section, actually, Acharyas repeatedly describe one verse from the 11th canto, where it is described that Sri Narada Muni was regularly being a resident of Dwaraka, so that he can regularly see Krishna and worship Krishna is described. That's the verse Acharya's quote in this section. Yeah. So now, so Narada Muni, like this, glorified Krishna, in a sense, reminded Krishna that in 2 days you're going to Mathura like that, or in a sense, gave a early indicator to Krishna that Akrura will come like that. He didn't say Akrura will come, but you're going to Mathura, he said like that. So he's given early indicator to Krishna in this sense, and he left happily to his own abode. So some time ago, there's a devotee, Hriday Chaitanya Prabhuji, who is in a Baltimore Temple congregation. Some of you who have been here for years know him. Some of you may not know him. He's the husband of Tarini Mataji. I forgot her full name. Very old Mataji in our temple who does lots of service in the temple, always doing cooking. She even cooks for Krishna in the DD kitchen regularly, and she serves like that. So her husband is also amazing devotee who likes to train new devotees. So when I was in his association, he used to train me with different things, small things, but very important things. One of the things I was remembering is like how Narada Muni paid obeisances and took permission of Krishna before he left. He gave me a Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan picture to me and told me every day, whenever you're going out to office, for example, from home, you tell Jagannath, I'm going to office now. Please bless me. And then, right when you come back home, you again come to Jagannath, I'm back, like that. So, like that, as practicing devotees, we can also practice these small things, like which will help us to remember that this home belongs to Krishna, and when we come back home, we again tell Jagannath, and then
Prabhuji, your voice is breaking.
to greet him first before when I come, be Krishna conscious practically. Yeah. So now moving moving on to last
Prabhuji,
pastime of killing of Vyomasura now. So this pastime is very simple. Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, your voice is breaking, Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Your voice is breaking, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, anybody can? Okay, perfect. Thank you, bro. Yeah. Somehow I'm hearing some voice, so I thought, okay, good. So briefly, I'll describe the Vyomasura pastime now. It's a simple pastime. Essentially, remember Kamsa sent two demons, Kesi demon and Vyomasura demon. We heard about Kesi demon yesterday. This Vyomasura demon was son of Mayadanava. Mayadanava is a demon. Maidan was this demon's son, Vyomasura. He had a magic powers to change his form. So he came like a cowherd boy. And while Krishna and cowherd boys were having fun, we know Krishna every day goes to forest in the name of herding cows and calves, but he's actually having fun with cowherd boys. They're only playing most of the time. Cows are naturally grazing themselves and taking care of themselves like that. So very rarely they need to pay attention to them. So they're having fun. They're playing the hiding and stealing and hiding game, where the Gopas divided into three roles. One set of Gopas will become thieves. Another set of Gopas will be the cowherd boys like Gopas, and a third set of cowherd boys will be like sheeps, like how they're not only herding cows, but looks like in this pastime they're also herding sheeps. So the game was some thieves will take the sheeps and hide them. The sheeps here are gopas only. They're playing like sheeps. They're acting like sheeps like that. So they're playing that game. This Vyomasura also came and they started to steal the gopas who are acting like sheeps and kept them in a cave and blocked the cave with a big boulder so that they cannot come out anymore like that. Like that is taking one by one gopa in the form of sheep and putting them in a cave like that. Almost only very few are left over. Then Krishna realizes this guy is playing the game like this. Let me go and attack him. The moment he is getting ready to attack, that Vyomasura changes to big form, his original form. And then Krishna kills him right away. So that way, uh, Krishna Krishna doesn't spend too much time with him, but when Krishna holds him, he dies. Acharya is described in the purport, BBT purport for 32 verse is described. Krishna killed him like the way sacrificial animals are killed, like that is described. One of the meaning Acharyas give here, it seems, that he killed by strangulation. That means the tight grip that is mentioned in the previous verse is related to tight grip of the throat, basically. So that's how he killed him, and then he went to the cave where he kept the Vyomasura kept all the coward boys, right? So he moved the boulder away. Actually, it's described Krishna smashed the boulder, not just moved it nicely, just stuck one smash, and that stole that rock got smashed all the time, and then he freed the Gopa friends, and then finally the chapter concludes where the demigods who were watching this pastime and the Gopas while singing the glories of Krishna, they returned to Gokula. So this is one common theme I like in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where whenever gopis are mentioned, what they're doing, they're always doing kirtan. They're always talking about Krishna's glories. See now, even when they're going back home, they're not just going, okay, what will I do when I go home? How is this tree looking like? How is the weather looking like? Not like that. They're glorifying Krishna while going kirtana. That's another important and lesson for us to practice remembering Krishna through thinking about Krishna's pastimes, through singing Krishna's pastimes, or singing Krishna's holy name. Even it is in my mind when we're going to the bus, for example, when we're going to the car, when you're going to, when you're driving. In the mind also we can chant holy name like that, or think about Krishna's pastimes. These pastimes in the 10th canto that we are hearing every day morning, we can recollect them during the day. That's how one way we can continue our smaranam. Yeah, I'll pause here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kupasindubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
Prabhuji, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, when you were speaking about that Prabhuji, the older Prabhuji, it got gets disconnected. We can't hear you. Can you please tell us so we can also implement in our life?
Absolutely. Yeah, Hriday Chaitanya Prabhu, what he was saying is, he was giving me so many instructions in his association. One of the instruction he gave me was, he gave me a picture of Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. He had this wonderful habit of giving to devotees. So sometimes he used to give me boiled peanuts. He will put it in a small packet and give me, please take it, like that. Sometimes he will come and give me a chant and Be Happy book and says, okay, you have this book? Okay, if you already have this book, give this book to someone. They will benefit, like that. Similarly, he gave me a Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan picture one time. And then he told me that keep it on the fridge. It's a magnet kind of thing. Keep it on your fridge. And then whenever you go, let's say you're going out of the home, you're going to office, you go see Jagannath and then go. Like, and then when you come back home, you first see Jagannath, like that. So basically, such a simple thing he was describing to inculcate practice in me as a devotee, practicing devotee, to remember that this home belongs to Krishna, this home belongs to Jagannath, and he's the boy, my boss. So when I'm going, for example, when I go to a meeting, when I go to office room to see my boss, I go and greet him first, and then when I coming out, I'll take permission and leave. Like that, in this past time, we heard about Narada Muni taking permission and leaving, right? So in that context, I was explaining that we can also practice this. This is Krishna's home. So whenever we going out, we pay obeisances to Krishna, and that way we're telling Krishna, please give me permission to leave from your presence now. And then when we come home, we go before Krishna and first greet him, because he's the boss of the home. He's the boss. He should be greeted first, like that. That is a simple principle he was teaching me, Mate. That's what I was sharing. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for sharing
Most
your
welcome.
information.
Yeah. Sure, Mate. Hare Krishna.
Hare-
Hare Krishna devotees, have a wonderful day. Yeah.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.